So look at them there on the desk, James, doing all their fancy analysis, their rational thinking, just explaining their logic. But what are your feelings, say, James?
Now it's time for the madhouse.
Time for feelings.
I've played with Smuya on Overpass. It wasn't against Big Clan though, but I mean against Big Clan. It wasn't against Renegades, but I mean he's going to be very comfortable on the CT side, whether it's A or B. I think I'm quite interested to see how he does towards B with the AWP. It's fun watching his POV. Man like Smuya playing his first major match. Let's see what he can do. Renegades, this is a journey of discovery, as Sponge alluded to. What do they have to offer us on Overpass? Will it be a reinvention of the wheel or something different? We will soon see. We've got a smoke grenade going towards the site. Those can be used to try and get a plant on the site itself. We've got Tizian, who is trying to hide by the barrels. The next will be the first to engage, but he'll be dispatched pretty quickly. Tizian taking a shot, hiding, getting his reload in, just trying to be the bait. I think it's been. What is he doing?
Did he get
was that
one?
a frag? I thought it was 8 punch.
There's no way.
You can't be serious. We got to see a replay of that. But JKS 1 versus 3. That I refuse to believe that was a frag.
I couldn't even register that.
He's still staring at the floor. He's standing in the corner. JKS moves towards the monster position. Maybe trying to bait a CT out to catch him on a rotation, but he's still here. He's full health, JKS. Mr. Savage. The way he was flicking Tizian, I thought like he got shot in the head through the barrels. I was about to say he's getting aim punched.
Yeah, that's good mechanics if he's on that. He knows exactly what it is for like a 90-degree turn from the downward position to, well, 90 degrees up.
I don't understand what I saw there. I literally don't understand.
That's pretty cool.
No, please don't tell me. Oh my god! How is that a frag? How is this real life?
That is beautiful. Again, that's good mechanics. That's you trained.
No, dude, that doesn't make any sense.
He's clearly trained, and not like these 90-degree vertical flicks.
What kind of matchmaking nonsense is that? How are you doing that in a major?
Some great motor memory there.
Oh my god, that's round 1. That is round 1.
That is.
And we were talking about what Renegades have. What is that? That's some. He's got a ruler next to his mouse.
I love that. That's great. That's beautiful. I don't think I've seen a frag like that before.
That's one of the most absurd frags I've ever seen.
It's really cool because it's a really outrageous flick, but it's something that it's like a rehearsed position. You know, that's really cool. Right. Okay. So that aside. Can Renegades get something going here? They've got just the pistols, and they've forced with them only a single flash on Ustillo, and Fort Eagles does give a lot of opportunity for damage, especially at range. Got to be careful of that there. Got B darting behind the door. Now, how do Renegades get in? Because the Deagles, it's all well and good at range. Well, maybe. Not against the Scout, perhaps. But it's all very well and good at range. But closing the distance is another story. And if the CTs don't give you long-range angles to play engagements off of, what do you do with the Deagles? You have to move onto a site, but then you have no nades. And then you're running with a Deagle. That's not great. That's the situation they're put in right now. Tabson's teasing. He's...
Oh, through the wall.
Very nice.
So much fun to just bounce around with a Scout. It's very nice, refreshing. Oh, hello, and oh, that should have been a good buy, man. I was setting it up. 20 seconds remaining, Renegades. How long will you wait? Oh, there's one in the face for Jacob.
So much info. Oh!
Ustillo finally goes down, and I'm not quite sure what they were waiting for there. Maybe an overextension from the Scout to try and pick him off, but he had so many shots while they were standing there.
Yeah. It's a dilemma, isn't it? No nades, 4 Deagles. Like, what can you do? Like, as soon as you run into that open space, that space between the cover of the toilets, the bathrooms, and then onto the site where you have the truck and the containers, that's a big distance where you've got no cover. You have to somehow close that distance with a Deagle. It's very difficult if the CTs are playing passively. With no nades, if you have no nades, that is, to support that distance.
Wow, that is a Molotov.
That is awesome.
Is a Molotov, and of course it's Big Clan with the grenades. Their grenade MVP, and look how close this allows Gobby to get. He can do this with little fear because he knows that these guys are not going to have Kevlar in this round. He's probably made some steps though, but now he knows that no one has gone beyond this point. Now, is there another grenade for him? No, he's literally on his own. And they're waiting for him. Oh, Nifty's probably seen him before Gobby's seen anything. Oh! well, that's pretty good. 4 kills, the MP9. Good luck, have fun. No armor and 48 HP. And that is quite the containment there. He is completely contained. Smee wants some action. He wants to get on the board, and he will do so. Second kill, in fact, so he's already on the board. You can see Godby's mouse is hanging over his table. And I want to say that might be more common with older players, but maybe it's still true today, depending on what LAN you go to. But part of the reason players will do that is because often the corner of the table is quite sharp and it can hurt your forearm. So people will have their mouse pads hanging over the ends, just for, when you go to LAN, you'll be playing on all kinds of surfaces.
Especially when your wrist is really close to the edge, then it's your wrist kind of like bends a bit and you digs in even more. And that's kind of how he plays with his mouse too, so it makes it worse. See, also on Smuya, that's not a good prospect for Renegades. Renegades are in trouble, James. Right now we've seen a lot of trickery from Big. They're magicians.
We've got to play through connector towards that short B position. Godby getting taken out by Azar, and does he go back for the peak? Well, he's been taken down from the back, and Tabson might have got himself an upgrade, and now Nifty is alone. But where is Nifty? He's on long. The bomb is on the floor. The bomb is a while away, and it may be a question of damage for Nifty, just to keep these players honest. So again, Smee over towards the B bomb site is quite interesting. He's very, very comfortable in situations in that direction. Literally using the big green gun, nice clean heritage green AWP, or the British Racing green rather. So Nifty, assuming no one's going to be towards a long position, running to try and close the distance, but with the time passing, Big know what is possible now. Tabson will have the angle. 2 AKs on the Big side is pretty good stuff as well for them. But Renegades are yet to show us what they have to offer, and they probably won't be able to do so in this round because this is eco territory, heading towards max loss bonus in the next round.
And I like that, they had 4 players aggressively towards B, did Big. Big went super aggressive, they had a big push on that Suez area around the monster tunnel as well, lots of support. Of course, Smuya's up and close with that AWP as well. There's just a lot to worry about there if you go towards that B side early. So already Big have just taken control away from Renegades. Renegades have not played the rounds yet. That's how it's going to feel, like they have not had a chance to play a strategy. And Godby will be hearing all the footsteps here. That's a good defense offered up by him. He spots the bomb too. His teammates can now start to help him out, although maybe not in time. Tabson turns his AK, his attention towards the bathrooms, as does Nex as well. And they will sandwich the Renegades, the remainder of Renegades, which is now a remainder, no more. 5-0 and Renegades. They haven't been led into the game just yet. Maybe this will be the round.
I have to say, that shot from Tizian on the pistol round, it reminded me, I thought it was like the old aim punch before they updated it, because he moves so much. It's so ridiculous.
It's really cool because one of the things that we mentioned mechanics briefly before that I think is really important in mechanics is solidifying a perfect 180 turns and 90-degree turns, understanding that perfectly horizontally and vertically as well. This is really useful to have that built into your motor memory. It's just usually verticality like that is not required in this game. In Quake, maybe he should play Quake.
I just don't. I don't know. Yeah. How do you 90-degree like that?
How do you do this?
How do you 90-degree like that?
Double ops now, and 2 AKs. Big are feeling pretty good about this, I'm sure. And they're playing a passive round this time. I mean, I say that they do have 2 players in Suez, so that's fairly aggressive by some teams' standards.
Yeah.
But it gives them a lot of map control. So that and Renegades, they don't really have much on the map, and we're approaching the minute mark.
So Tabson's been holding the fountain position, but they've gone the long way round, it seems. And he's been smoked off, and he's still alone. It does take a while to clear these areas out, but as that smoke continues to dissipate, surely he's going to have to fall back, because now he will be compromised. He has no cover from the party position, no one's near connector, but there is a rotation coming in towards long, and he is really held on for as long as he can, and he's got the frag. No trade from the T's. The bomb has not been spotted. Jacob heading back towards the B bomb site now, where Big have spread out. Godby's made his way towards A. Next is in the rotation position. And it seems Nex is going to go back towards the B bomb site as they've seen nothing else. Now Godby is going to be outside the toilet, and Tabs is going to have a look towards long. But how many players has Tizian just seen? Seems like it's a full rotation here for the CTs.
Yeah, Smuya firing off a warning shot. It's going to be a difficult one. He needs some support here. Very nice start there from Smuya. Misses the second one. Knife comes out. Surely not. And yes, it will be a frag for Smuya with that knife slashing away, swinging away. And big reach. 6-0. The shock and awe from Renegades. Not really doing too much here.
What is he doing? Well, that was a nice play from Smuya. That's quick thinking, and it's the best thing he could do in that situation. The guy's in the smoke. Stop the bomb from going down, win the round. So get in there with a knife, swipe. You'll hear when you connect, and then just keep on that position. Pretty standard stuff, and he gets bonus money from it as well. 2 AWPs now continue for Big, and with no plant. When you're at maximum loss bonus, if you plant the bomb, you can pretty much buy every round, even if you lose, because you're getting $4,200 every round, including the bomb plant. However, we'll see what Renegades choose to do. Nifty's on 3,500. The rest are on 4K plus, so they could buy in this round, Renegades. But they will go for the eco, so they want the full team buy as opposed to a mostly buy. And maybe they wouldn't have all the utility they would want in this round. But they're going full armor. There's only the M4 to really dodge in terms of helmets, but maybe those helmets will make the difference. Let's have a look. Tabson may hear players towards the playground position, but he excuse me, he can still have a strong play from where he is. He's got Gobby for support in case players come out of connector. As you can see, he's going for the quick peek spade. Doesn't want to scope at the same time because that would compromise his position. And he's chosen a time to fall back because he would be exposed to the fountain position as well. There's a quick peek, misses the shot, bouncing through to long.
So it's a big change from the setup perspective on the CT side. You know, all that emphasis towards B in previous rounds. Now it's all about this A setup, 2 on long, 1 on the site, conceding the toilets completely. And of course, you know, they are playing against pistols, so trying to cover their bases as best they can. Playing the bathrooms is risky, as it is close range, and that's why Renegades have chosen this. I think they get onto the side quickly. How much can Next do with this AK-47? Only one. In comes Gobby with a full spray down. Gets himself a second. And whoa, Azad, I don't know if he was blind, but he just did not clock Tabson's position at all.
Yeah, he just started his pirouette, but it was too late. The judges already had the scorecards out, and it will be 7-0 in favour of Big Clan. So far, so fantastic for them, and I don't know what we've seen from Renegades just yet, but here is the buy they were looking for, the buy they were waiting for. Nifty on the AWP, of course, the full utility coming out from the team this time. Well, I'm sure Sponge is as curious as we are as to what Renegades have to offer here on the T side of Overpass. And now they are going to want to make really good use of these flashbangs. He still is a little short. Didn't have any money left to pick up some flashes off his own. Look at this aggression from Big. God, B, you're not supposed to be there. And you won't be there anymore because Nifty's ready for you. After the previous rounds where they had the Molotov there, maybe took that area for granted. But no, there are 3 Renegades players there. Early pick for Renegades, but what else can they get done here?
Yeah, they have to defeat Tabson, and he's just out there. Like, he wants to make sure that he can at least equalize. But if he does so, it's going to be very hard to back away from this position unless he hits all the shots. That's a beautiful way to do it, and he wants more. Moving forwards, here's the jumping. Turns the corner and taps in. My God, was he trying to line up a headshot? That is outrageous stuff still, though. Renegades fighting back, finding 2 simultaneous kills across the map. As now Next, here's the running. Perhaps he can get the drop on them.
He's got to read it as a bomb collection, because why else would a T go into connector and go backwards? It's got to be a bomb collection, but which way will he go? Do they know where the second player is? I don't think they do, and Smuya may be in for a task now as this smoke starts to disappear. When Big lost the player early, they did a B take where Smuya bounced a Molotov off into the short B position and his teammate cleared out the area, but now there's a shadow advantage, but he still misses the shot. That's a great miss from Smuya, but he delivers the second kill, and there we go. Still comfortable on the B bomb site. Slight move before the first shot, but these are very dependable sniper rifle players in this game so far.
Yeah, that first miss is just like, yeah, just kidding, guys. Just kidding. But these 3 kills here from Tabson are incredible, and just it's beautiful that he's, I don't know, like he's just waiting there. I think I don't know if he's trying to line up the headshot or what's going on, but it's pretty amazing. He's on 16 and 2, James. He's 16 kills for 2 deaths, and you know we're at 9 rounds in, so that's or we've only played 8 rounds, so he's got a pretty good rating so far. You know, 2 for.
It's pretty good.
2 kills every round. It's not bad.
It is not bad at all. A timeout from Renegades has just elapsed now. What can they bring into this round? This time they won't wait for a perfect buy. So Yusilo will be on the Galil. And he's, I mean, we could talk about all the Renegades players. I think Yusilo was one I was very happy to see join the Renegade side. Lots of very important players for Renegades, but none really getting the work done at the moment. No one has more than 3 kills in 8 rounds for Renegades. That has to change, and it has to change fast.
One of the difficulties with it is that Overpass is a map where the CT side, if you start with a good economy and your AWPers are incredible, I mean SK, you know, the old SK, now MIBR core, you know, Fallen, he showed how powerful it can be and how you can just shut a team down and they don't even get to play the game. They don't get to play a T side. And so far that's been the story. Big shutting down this T side before they can get anything started, and Tabson is just again grinding the corner. Oh my goodness, misses that shot. Jakin will punish him. Now Renegades can finally get their way in onto something.
Yeah, but we could have said the same last round as well when they got the early pick, and that didn't really work out for them. But that is a big frag. It is the heavy output of Tabson which has been taken away this round, but the other players are capable as well. Smooya now, they may expect him towards the B bomb site, but here he is on A. Can he be as effective? Can he pick up the slack? 2 players moving through the long position, or just showing some presence now, but it seems they will be rotating perhaps towards the connector. No, it's the long rotation. They're taking the safer routes. They won't be going through connector high visibility. They know what is potential, what is possible with these angles. But Smooya continues to move forward on his own, which means even though they've gone for a long rotation, he's going to have a lot of information for his team. Tizian next, waiting on the B bomb site. Gobby's moving into position as well.
Nothing doing there for Tizian or for Nex. Now down to Smooya and Gobby. Smooya coming in from the back. They may not suspect him to be there so quickly. And Gobby does eliminate 1 player, but it might not be enough here for Smooya. Gets himself a very nice no-scope. Spins around, but there's no opportunity for another go of it as JKM denies him. And that will be 1 round on the board for Renegades. Finally, they get it done, but there's still a good amount of money here for Big 2 to buy up to, or with. Words are hard, James.
So the long rotation for Renegades paid off. They avoided Smooya for all the crucial points. This was a nice frag. Some pre-fire there. Smooya ran into it face first. But again, now that's an opportunity for Big to reset Renegades. So there is often an upside, and there certainly is here for Big Clan for them to continue their momentum. Is that the round which allows Renegades to actually show us something on this T side though? Lots to play for both teams. They can maybe crush this match in 1 half, or Renegades can give themselves a fighting chance moving forward. Nifty down to 20, but he has the AWP. Only needs 1 shot, and there is 1 shot onto God B.
That's looking for more. He might just find it by the bench. Picks up Jakem. Ooh, a smoke and a flash. Keep things confusing there for Renegades. Perhaps he's suspecting that he might go for a repeat, but he's still closing the distance pretty quickly. Tabson spotted now. Oh my god, he hits the shots! Oh, so close for the next one. Lined it up, but no time to pull the trigger as well. He's still with the frag as it goes 3 versus 3. Renegades putting up a very good fight in this round, but there's still a lot of obstacles here for them to overcome. They must still make it onto a bomb site, and now they've got 50 seconds only to do that with.
Big, fully rotated towards the A site, but Smooya is jumping into the B bomb site again. Now with all the Renegades in long, will they commit to the A site here? Are they waiting for a peek? If they don't get one, what are they going to do? 30 seconds, and the idea of a rotation becomes almost 0 at this point. They continue to move forward. There's a smoke at the front of the site. Next, paying anti-flash. Tizian's here as well, and they both go down in almost stereo fashion. Surely this is a save for Smooya. The money has disappeared for Big all of a sudden, so maybe he has to go for it. No, it seems that they have realized this is The post-plant positions will be too strong. Jump into the water and quietly disappear away from this area.
And what also you need as well to win a round in overpass on the CT side too. So, I mean, Tabson's already shown that to us. And, you know, Smooya's been, you know, we know that he can be very, like, so good aggressively as well. A player that has pretty crazy mechanics himself. So perhaps, you know, it could be that he just pushes the B side of the map and maybe they stack towards B in anticipation of perhaps Renegades going monster, or because Renegades will be running an anti-eco type round next round. So it's usually going to be a monster round or a long round, but they know the AWP is out. So do they pick to burst onto the B site? That's probably a better call because you can close the distance against any potential AWP than it is to go with what would be a standard choice of A long. Most teams, of course, will run a default, gather information before eventually going to those locations, but that tends to be how it boils down on this map. So we'll see what their choice is here for Renegades. It does seem like they have a heavy presence towards B, which makes a lot of sense.
Three CTs in the B bomb site, or maybe four. And Renegades will start there. Often you'll see a lurker outside B just setting up the same round again and again, but all of Renegades are here. No one's in connector for the CT side, but even if he's got a tight angle, are they going to have another look? Got to be careful. Actually, shock and awe, trying to catch Big completely off guard. Really fast rounded for Renegades. 2 frags so far for Yuzilo. Is there a trade there? Tizian on the site now. Very dangerous with P250, but his danger is brief. Someone's got to cross to the site, spotted through the smoke, and Smooya sees none of it. And now it's got B with a deagle. There's one. He's got 2 more to find, though. And I think he'll go up and get an AWP and make this more of a problem for Renegades, who have 2 smoke grenades. But do they wish to smoke this balcony position? Got B last seen on the low ground. Where is the AWP? That's a question. He's waiting for someone to peek, to reposition. He doesn't have a kit. He's got barely any health. If there's a gun up here, it might be something he considers saving at this point, but he can't really find anything. He's only got Kevlar and a Desert Eagle. And it seems he will rotate to greener pastures.
So that was really cool. I think, you know, again, the round is somewhat predictable for both sides in knowing that the AWP is there on the CT side, but they have to save around it. And the one thing that you would maybe able to see be a bit different for Big is the positioning of the AWP, because I think they again realized that, you know, you have to have the AWP on B. It's going to be a B attack, but what they perhaps didn't account for is the great use of utility from Renegades. And Smooya took what is a great vantage point, but he was completely shut down by the utility. All the smoke's blocking his vision, and if he's in a situation where his AWP can only impact the round when all of his teammates are dead around him, that's obviously not ideal. You want him in there straight away. But either way, that's 3 rounds of Renegades. They're back in this one, but they have to deal with this AWP of Tabson. He's been a nightmare towards these positions on A.
Ooh, the HE towards the playground position.
Nice.
And look at the damage.
Wow.
Jacobs lost half of his health. They know exactly what Renegade's going to do with that boost. And who knows if that plays a part later on. Smooya's been taken out. Tabson, though, is the one with the Soul Sniper Rifle for Big in this round. This is nice because he can see players jiggling out of connector, but also if they come around the outside of the toilets from party, etc., it is a small correction either way. But you can't stand there forever, and it does depend on your rifle support, but he's up there on his own. And the rest of the players are over towards the B-bomb site once again as Renegades start to spread out in the upper area.
Renegades just scanning, putting the feelers out there. See, as eliminating potential positions where his opponents could be hiding in the connector area. And Tabson, oh, there's a good start for Big. Now getting back into this one, equalizing frag from him as he looks for players who could potentially be trying to abuse him as he repositions. He won't fall for it though. Tabson, he does a very good job playing alone with this AWP towards bathrooms. And Renegades will fall all the way back, and Tabson's going to have information on this, or soon enough he will. There's 15 seconds left. They have to know, and the CT start to rotate.
Oh, this is a long journey into the B bomb site with so little time. Tizian flashed only for a brief moment. He sees the shadow. The pre-fire is there. He'll delay a little bit, and that might be the round. It is going to be the round. A great transfer from Godby. 3 kills for him on the site. And there's no time to plant the bomb. He is loving life over there, but that was a very late play into the B bomb site, and again, no time for error correction.
Yeah. It just makes you think that Renegades, they had an idea for the round, and they were sort of chasing it too hard, and then eventually feel like, oh god, the only thing that we have is just a rush left into B. That's all we can do now. Because if you're leaving yourself with 10 seconds to rush a bomb site against 4 players, that's, you know, that's let's say a rush also that's very telegraphed. That can't be the original plan. So something went wrong in the mid rounds.
And they had the momentum there as well. They had won 3 rounds in a row. They're only rounds so far of 12. So does this slow them down? They've got the money for a buy. It's not great, but it's a buy. It is a dangerous one with Nifty on the AWP, Azure and JKS on the AKs. He's still on a Galil. I'm not sure if there's much for Jacob beyond this Desert Eagle. The 2 AWPs are back for big. Tabson looking to hit the 20 frag mark. He's got 19 frags in 12 rounds. He has really been doing something special for his team. But let's not forget that highlight from Tizian. Smooya now is basically trapped in this position. This is not an easy escape when you make your way into Connector, and you will see why, or maybe you won't. He just about escapes before the peak comes in. But you never know when Big are baiting you, so you've got to be careful as Renegades.
And the other thing too is that Renegades have been conditioned that there's been so much pressure from that position via Big's AWPs and rifles that it's unlikely, like Smooya can stay out there for longer because Renegades have to take more care in taking that position because they're just so afraid.
They charge through the smoke though on that outside the toilet position, and Smooya has a lot to do here. That could have been 2, it will be 2. How is he still alive? More flashes from his teammates, and there will be trades from next. He's got 2 of his own, and now that is the A bomb site secured. Nifty alone with the AWP versus 3. There's a smoke, there's a gap though. He can still do damage here, sees a knee, but not a whole lot else. He knows he's being baited here, looking for the other players. Does he walk through the smoke? He sees the rotation, he's got a blind spot perhaps. But now he's fully exposed, looking for the trade fraggers, forced back. 35 seconds, but Tabson's there all of a sudden. And there is kill number 20 for Tabson, 20 for 5.
Yeah, he's having a game, isn't he? He's having quite the game. And it's beautiful to see because it feels like the players that, like, you know, for example, when you look at the scoreboard for Big, what you're seeing is not that, you know, Tizian and Nex aren't doing enough. You're just seeing that Tabson's doing his job, and when it falls onto those players, if there's anyone left to be fragged, you know, they're doing a pretty good job at cleaning it up and holding their positions and providing the support that's necessary. So Godby now going aggressive with the flashbang. It's going to be good as a faster timing comes out from Renegades with those pistols, and this is the first time we've seen, I think, such aggression against the pistols from Big in the CT side, so that caught Renegades off guard.
Big, so dangerous with grenades. I mean, we saw the nonsense on Inferno some moons ago, but they are quite a problem elsewhere. You see the jiggle peak with that flashbang. I don't know who I learned that one from, but I use that as well. I think from Pitt actually. XNIP Pitt does that one as well. So there's a wide peak from Renegade, but with Glocks and a P250, they'll need more than wide peaks.
Through the proper distance now, Godby lays the spray down, and it's absolutely picture perfect as Big go 11 now to 3. Renegades not really putting up much of a fight at all, and Godby actually 20 for 8 now, and that's pretty awesome to see. One frag away from where Tabson is, and you know, he has been the cleanup crew. You know, if Tabson is to falter, it does go to Godby in a lot of these rounds. And Smooya has been doing, you know, really well on the B-bomb side as well when it comes to just holding the AWPs. Smooya's playing passively with the AWP. You don't want to have 2 AWPs playing like hyper-aggressive all the time. And Tabson's been given that job. And speaking of hyper-aggressive, JChem with a fast entry onto Nex into the Suez position. Tizian playing close around the smoke. What's he going to be able to find? Oh, he lets them pass. Oh my goodness. Now he picks his moment. Oh, they line up! That is fantastic from Tizian. Not only gets the player planting the bomb, but he gets his comrade to create some space here for Gobby to go in, trying to make it work, but will be denied. But there comes the support from up high from Tabson with the AWP. And this is a real fight on our hands now.
2 smokes to deploy. Tabson needs to be the one to get on the bomb and leave the rifling to Gobby with 2 of them left. But they're just baiting them out there. There's a boost attempt, but Gobby, he's just a mastermind, isn't he? Trying to force Azza through, and indeed they've got the sniper on, but Gobby can't get it done. Oh, it's so close! Ooh. But Renegades just get that 4th round on the board. That was so close, and so awkward for Big. You've got to make sure your sniper gets on the defuse, because if he misses his shot in that situation, that is just GG all around. They did the best they could, but indeed Big did, but indeed it is a 4th round on the board for Renegades, and that gives them a fighting chance moving into the second half. They've got to win this pistol though.
That was like 100 milliseconds left on that bomb, like a 1/10 of a second, James. A 1/10 of a second. That's crazy. Wow. But I mean, that said, Big, you know, they're going to be a hard act to follow on that CT side of theirs. Renegades, of course, they have to win the pistol round to have a chance of doing that. So we'll see if they can do it. But you know, Big on that T side, as you said, you know, they are known for their grenades, and there's so much in the way of tricks that they can throw at you. This is going to be very hard for Renegades to anticipate everything.
As they're going for the jump peaks, gets away with it. No more jump peeking required. I don't know how many players you saw. There are 3 at short B. The bomb is not in tow. Bomb has been left near T-spawn for the time being, while Big try to ascertain what is going on. Nifty moving back towards the A site now, having a look towards long, and Renegades just lie in wait for Big to make their play. It seems Big looking for a peek in that short B position. Smooya and Tizian have had eyes on Monster, but nothing doing. Renegades continue to be patient. This may be a slow one.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks that way. One of the scary things in rounds like this are if the Glocks close a distance, and there may be a chance for that, and to keep the integrity of numbers. Smooya must be very careful in the way that he plays that position, and that is what you want to see from Renegades. Long range pick off. Nifty doesn't have to peek too aggressively anymore. He's got some information. 30 seconds to go. He's still with a very favorable angle as well. Can't get the frag. Tizian's up close though with that Glock. Just pushing those Renegades players off this bomb site. They're going to get a plant here. Ooh, denied though by Azza just in the nick of time.
Moving around the site, 15 seconds for this bomb to go down, and they've given themselves another man advantage. Now JKS trying to fly in. There's a quick one. Can he stop the plant though? Tries to go to cover instead, but Smooya's got the kill. And there is the round. That is disastrous for Renegades now, because Big have won both pistol rounds, and it's 12-4. So this may be brief, and their stay on overpass may not be lasting much longer. They may be thrown onto that passing train. This is a very close picture of Smooya's forehead. Hashtag Smooya forehead.
Yeah, it's not the start you wanted to see in the second half for Renegades, and they will take all their pistols towards the long area, it would seem. So trying to gamble on this one and see what they can find. And if it goes wrong, they keep the pistols into the next round, but they haven't opted to go... Oh, they have got Kevlar as well. So it is, it's just Nifty staying off of it, really, to make sure that he has enough for an AWP. Standard stuff in that sense. And Big...
When your opponent has 12 rounds, though, that is... I mean, I respect that this... I'm not saying it's wrong, but there might be a lot to ask.
It's going to be tough, that's for sure. But if that's the best chance you think you have at winning a round, then that's where you're most comfortable. MAC-10's doing their job, darting through the monster position, and the bomb site is taken. And indeed, Renegades will likely just try to, if Big are to want to get frags against them, they're going to make it as hard as possible. And this can be a great approach when it comes to a situation like this, because when there's MAC-10s on the field, you know, these SMGs, you don't really want to reward them with a kill bonus, and you'd like to find yourself in the next round with the same, you know, the same weapons and the Kevlar and so on, and having another chance at getting a good defense. If you're having to run at the bomb site, that's going to be bad engagements most of the time. So you look to the next round instead. And it looks like they may survive with everybody, which is really cool.
Yeah, they essentially get another go of it. 2 force buy rounds for the price of 1. Available now at Woolworths. 2 MAC-10s continue for Big as everybody survives. Right then, Renegade, what is your plan B in this particular round? Pile into connector. Let's see. 1 player going towards B, 3 players going towards connector. So it will be the connector pile in. Next, delivering Molotov to stop any fast plays. I was wondering if you'd put a smoke into the Molotov just to kind of ruin that day. For what now? He'll just contain for the time being. So if he just holds there, if they try and move into that connector door, that is a problem as well. And there we go, picking off the players, but some still... Oh boy, look at that damage! Godby and Tizian are in trouble now. This could be... I mean, this is actually winnable for Renegades.
Positionally, it's not looking good though for them. You can see Tizian just waiting. They know that they're sitting there by the sandbags, and he's got that MAC-10 in position. Of course, it would be nice to have a smoke, which Nex has, and that's what they're waiting for. Nex is the player that's furthest away. He's finally managed to make his way through Monster, so he can smoke that position. And there is smoke, and now it's... Oh my god, what on earth is that? The 2 weakened players finished off by Nifty with a double headshots off the USP. The bomb can be planted though. They'd have to run through the smoke to kill him at this point. And USP is not the best to spam with, but with that HE, the damage has been done. And now the pistols are much more effective. And they can't even plant the bomb. This is so incredibly frustrating right now for Big. There is a real chance now for Renegades as they move forward. Nifty with that AK. Tazan has to trade, using the headshot angle with low HP, and he can't make it work as with the CZ. That's ridiculous. Can you imagine a more frustrating situation, James?
As soon as... I think it was a grenade that did some chunky damage earlier on. As soon as that happens, the potential becomes very, very real for Renegades to win that round. And now I think Nifty can... He's got $8,000, so the gamble pays off for Renegades in the short term. Let's see what Big choose to do. They've got the money to pull a bunch of AKs out. So this is going to be a very interesting round indeed. Obviously, Renegades have to win this round. Otherwise, the curtain is going to start to fall before they get off the stage. Tactical timeout has... Oh, no, it's a technical timeout. JKS has just reconnected to the server. So, let's see what's going to happen. Nifty draws for the AWP. Big don't have the money for that just yet. But this is going to be a very dangerous round, and I think it's fair to say that for the most part this match of Overpass has been all Big, so it's all eyes on Big to see if they can take those toys away from Renegades.
Yeah, that was very surprising. But, you know, indeed, at least, you know, for Big, even though they didn't manage to get the bomb planted in the end, it was the third round, so with the previous one being so clean, they're good for a buy. And there's all sorts of options that they could go with here. If you decide to run a default towards A, you do give your opponent opportunity on that CT side, as we saw Tabson when he was playing CT. You give that CT side the opportunity to have an impact on your map control, to take fights against you, to, you know, throw flashes and so on, and deny you map control. If you go towards B and open up with more of an emphasis towards the sewers, that's somewhat easier to take, and it's a bit more risky in most cases for the CTs, and the CTs have to expend a lot of utility to make sure that that's a guaranteed thing, much like Banana on Inferno. So we'll see which one they go with. The sewers is a bit more of a short thing, and it seems like they're just going for a pretty basic split here of players. One connector, 2 towards B, 2 towards A. It's a very fast push from Tizian. And there's no massive aggression here, so for Big, they have Sewers for now at least, and that's a good win early on.
Next in connector as well. That's a lot of information early. Nifty looking around the toilet's position, but he's exposed to connector, so even if he got a shot there, there's a reasonable chance he would have got traded. More smokes around the toilet's position now. Renegades being aggressive around toilets. The grenade avoided. Tizian going for a one-tap. A spot of pre-fire, but nothing doing just yet. 3 players still on the B bomb site for the CT side. Yustilo's position is very wallbangable, but tabseN's got so deep into A.
Oh my god. How is he going to wait here? He can. Oh, he's just going to go for that. It's definitely the smart and sure thing. So now this forward position, this creates a horrible spot for Yustilo. What does he do? They know that there's got to be another player around this area. tabseN was going to look for him, but it's Smooth to find him. Now, as they have the A bomb site and that deep position from tabseN, what on earth do you do about that? How did he find? There was one blind spot, and tabseN walked straight through it. And now Renegades might lose the round. In fact, they will lose the round just purely because of that.
I'm surprised Tizian's rotating away from the B bomb site, because where else could the CTs be at this point? After charging up long, after Smooth comes in from the short position, they have to be on B. And they're just walking into the meat grinder of God B. And that is absolute disaster for Renegades. Absolute disaster. Azza has 5k in the bank. Perhaps he can drop an AWP to Nifty and allow him to try and get something done, but they don't really have many other options right now, Renegades. Their loss bonus has been sent straight back in the bin. This is all big.
Yeah, those AWPs really set the tone on that first half, and that was a really nice round from tabseN. That's a move that I think sometimes, you know, you'll get shut down doing what tabseN did there. Maybe you'll be in a fight where you'll win 20% of the time, like a very unfavorable fight, but you might find a rounds where the CTs haven't that opening there, and that does happen on this map from time to time. You don't even need to study your opponent to understand that can be the case oftentimes. And so just by taking that risk and being lucky in that sense that it was not covered by anybody in that timing. Now look at Big, you know, they have a situation where they've completely crushed the economy of Renegades. They forced Renegades into a do-or-die position, and it could work out very well for Big here. And we had a similar situation before, and I said that playing into B is the best case for the T side, because you know that there could be an AWP out there. Obviously there was a save, and so a situation is that you don't want to play the long ranges of A. You just want to get in, use utility to deny vision, and that's best done on B.
Big with that tactical timeout, leaving Renegades to stew, not getting too excited with their advantages, not getting overconfident, just keeping everybody at a good pace. And you see Gobby, the leader of the team. You can see him definitely being a leader. And his body language in the way he communicates. And indeed, as a drop to Nifty, the AWP, I think that's the right decision. Going for a fast peek of connector, but Big know what's possible. They are all too prepared for overpass, it seems. And it's got B's turn to have a look towards the long position with tabseN in tow. Again, we've got 3 players towards B for Renegades, and this time they've gone to take short B. But is it too little too late?
Yeah, this is great mind games here from Big. And they've discovered that A-long there's just no one around here. And if there is an AWP somewhere on the map, they know that. And to not see it at this point and be so deep on A, it surely can't be towards the A-bomb site unless it's playing deep on the bathrooms or around the bathrooms position, which is more risky. And you'd want, in Renegade's situation, to protect the AWP with some of those CZs and have it a bit further back. So this is a really good sign here for Big. Everything's lining up for them. The grenades start to come in. There's no CTs even there to defend. This should be an easy plant, but will it be an easy round?
Tizian's holding the rotation. There's the first one, Nifty taking up JKS on the site, and now it's down to Tizian to contain the rest. And they can send a second player for support. Renegades are trapped, but the round's already over. They have to hold on to this AWP, so they will no longer push connector. They will try to survive. They're like rats in a sewer at this point.
Yeah, there's not much they can really do.
Trying to avoid extermination. Big wants to smoke them out. Shaken's dome was spotted, and that's enough for tabseN. Smooth can take over. My turn. Let me try and find someone. He doesn't know the pop flash. So if you stand in the corner of the stairs and then to the right, I learned it from nothing. You can bounce a pop flash off the wall. So 3 kills. I mean, the number of kills doesn't matter really for Renegades. It's about what they survive with, the AWP and an AK-47. So more than you could wish for, I suppose. But it's match point for Big Clan.
Yeah, and again, like you have this like mind game, you know. In many cases, that fast B play for the T side can be super effective in a situation like this, and you know, just really catch your opponent off guard. Like a high pace can be chaotic and hard to deal with. But, you know, maybe we'll see it like previous, and Big will just play into A, and they'll find, you know, no defense there. How do Renegades interpret it? Renegades, a more consistent approach is to somehow take control in the round. So you take sewers, or you take a forward position towards the fountains, or you take a forward position towards connector. You have to be aggressive somehow. If you just wait, you run the risk that Big just pick the right bomb site or pick the right avenue on this map.
They're so prepared though, Big. They are so prepared for overpass. Or is this an inkling of how prepared they are for this major? Maybe overpass will be their inferno of old. Because when I saw the HE grenade towards the tree and playground from outside pass, it's like these guys know what's up on overpass right now.
Yeah, that was really good.
I don't want to play them on overpass.
Ooh, might get the fast B play here from Big. There's 3 players here for Renegades. And will they be prepared for this? Just running all the way through short. The flashes are all over the place here. JKS with a good start with the addition of Azur's frag. This may be a good chance here. JKM holds Monster down to Smew with the AWP and next, and they're stuck behind a smoke. This has not gone to plan here for Big. Renegades can win this round, and they likely should, or will, with that bomb in just no man's land. Smear boosted up though. Can he somehow carve out an opportunity?
Yeah, that new smoke actually gives him more cover to jump onto the sandbags, where he was hesitant to do it previously. But soon that smoke will go, and then he better be fast and ready to fall off the sandbags to avoid getting a trade frag. Being recipient of all his spots as it goes back up. There's another one for him, but he misses the shot. And that'll be the round for Renegades. It's never too late to mount a comeback. They take 2 AWPs and 2 AK-47s into the next round, Renegades. 9 rounds away. Let's see what Big choose to do with their money. It's higgledy-piggledy, but it seems they will go for the buy. Tabson's gone for the AWP. He had $6,000-ish, so he could have dropped 2 AKs for his teammates, in fairness. But he's gone for the big green gun instead. Tizian and Smuya will be on pistols, but they can pick up weapons should one of their teammates fall. If they don't fall, then they've probably won the match.
Nifty going aggressive, trying to replicate what Tabson did and the success that he found on that CT side with the AWP aggressive. Oh wow, did that? It did. It spilt onto the position Nifty was trying to peer over the smoke from. So
if Big throw a grenade, you know it's deliberate. Wherever it's landed, it was supposed to land there.
Yeah, that was really cool. And also it gives the sound cue too, because you know it's going to touch the AWP, and I think that was the case. And I think someone was close enough to hear it. So once that happens, you're going to run away. Yeah,
but he was frantically scoping in anyway, in and out.
True.
Well, that is, I don't know if that's nerves, pressure or what, or maybe it's just a CZ. But either way, that's an early pick for Big and an extra weapon that they didn't have before. And now Renegades maybe questions as to what kind of buy Big have in this round, but they're at a man disadvantage. 49 seconds remain. Gobby is rotating the bomb towards the A site, it seems, as Tizian looks towards B.
Oh, this is so scary. Smuya's doing so much work here. He could either create up a really big opportunity on this side by getting the kills, or a big distraction. At the very least, it will definitely be quite a distraction, but what's coming behind that? There will be 3 players with the bomb as Tizian sits on short B, looking to go for a flank at the same time. So many problems here for Renegades. Down to JKM, down to JKS, and my god, Tabson, he can't be stopped in this game, as it's just JKM left to prevent Big from walking away with this overpass victory against them, and it's not going to happen. Gobby finishes it off. It was a competition between Tabson and Gobby for the frags. Tabson finishing with 27. What a performance from Big.
Yeah, he had 27 frags. Gobby finished with 26, finishing on